Again, hello everyone. My name is Natalia Gozer. I'm working in the Agile Innovation team in the EIT Urban Mobility. Before we start, some housekeeping rules. This session will be recorded so that people who cannot attend today will be able to access the information provided in this meeting. And your microphones are muted, so feel free to add questions to our Q&A feature box. And we will reply to the questions directly via chat at the end of the session. So this is just the agenda for today. So do you know what to expect from the meeting? We will start off with a brief introduction to RAPTOR call, just to remind you that we held a specific session to explain all the details regarding the call process last Tuesday. And you can check all the details and information on our website, as well as see the recording from that session. So I'm inviting you to do that. We also held a session for 6 of our cities yesterday, and today we will be presenting 7 cities. We have our city representatives with us. So later on, I will give the floor to them to explain you more in details the challenges. And in the end, as I mentioned, we'll have the Q&A session with specific questions to our participating cities. Please use that opportunity to clarify all the doubts you may have. Let's get started. So I'll do the quick overview through the call scope and the process. The RAPTOR stands for Rapid Application for Transport, and it's a city-driven, challenge-based agile innovation program of EIT Urban Mobility. With this new edition of the RAPTOR program, EIT Urban Mobility is collaborating with 13 cities across Europe with niche urban mobility challenges. The program objective is to identify innovative solutions that can tackle these challenges and test them in a real-life scenario in the cities in order to see how this acceleration and scaling out of innovation can work. The awarded startups and SMEs, they will have 5 months to develop a product service to solve these precise city challenges. We look very much forward to seeing what our cities, startups can achieve under this agile innovation setup. So we are very excited for this RAPTOR City edition. The call aims to support the startups and SMEs to develop a new or significantly improved product, service, or solution by addressing one of the 13 RAPTOR City challenges. Now that we know what the challenges are, they are published, the competition is open, and we are waiting for SMEs to propose their solution to tackle those original issues. So we are here today to understand better 7 of our cities. But before we get into that, I wanted to remind you who can apply to our call. The RAPTOR call for proposal is open to startups and SMEs, and it addresses a single legal entity. So all the proposals must come from the single entity, and the consortia are not allowed at this specific call. Additionally, we are only startups and SMEs that have been registered as legal entities no more than 10 years prior to the official closing of the date of this call will be accepted. They must be registered as legal entities in the EU member state or a third country associated to Horizon Europe program. Also, we'll be accepting United Kingdom and Switzerland startups. It's also a condition that the companies have not received funding from the EIT Urban Mobility for the same product development. So we are looking for innovation, new products, and the participants have to be registered in the EU participant portal. Also, they have to complete the data in the partners information form. You can get more information on those 2 last points in our previous info session and also in the call manual. So please be sure to check this. Applicants must respond to the city challenges defined with the RAPTOR. However, if you are interested, you can apply for more than 1 challenge. However, you will need to apply with a separate submission, separate proposal. So feel free to see what's the best fit, where your solution fits, and then please make sure that you apply to each of them if that's the case. What do the winner get? So the award package here is that you, as a participant with the solution for our cities, you will get the opportunity to test in the real life conditions. So you will be, you will have the opportunity to gain some relevant work experience with a potential client, with the city. EIT Urban Mobility is also offering a funding of 40,000 euros per startup to test their solution. We will also offer support during the pilot stage. So there will be regular check-ins just to make sure that we are all advancing and that the project is successful. Definitely, I mean, we will be in contact during the pilot process with the city representatives. So that's a direct collaboration. And some optional office space might be offered if required, as well as participating in RAPTOR Challenge for the SMEs and startups. It's a potential for future collaboration with the EIT Urban Mobility. So this support package is something that it's offered by the RAPTOR call for participating SMEs and startups, and we'll be very happy to receive your applications. Very quickly overview of the timeline. We are now in the application phase. So the competition is open. It will last until the 6th of May. So you have almost 2 months to apply. However, please do not leave it to the very last moment. We are happy to see the application as soon as possible. Then the eligible application will go through 2 phases of evaluation process. That will happen between May and July. In July, the winners will be announced, and then the solution will be developed and tested in the city until the end of the year, 15th of December. One more very important feature of our program is the testing. Is the testing of the developed solutions. So one of the requirements of RAPTOR is to test on site of the solution in the city. I mean, at minimum, we are requiring 1 week on 1 week demonstration. However, that could be done also multiple half days throughout the 1 month, or 1 week ongoing demo, or either multiple 2 days demos. It depends obviously on the awarded project. That also can be agreed at the very beginning once we start the collaboration. Now, the most important part of today's session, we are getting into the topics of our city challenges. I will give floors to our city representatives that are here with us today. And we will start with the Bacău, Romania. So we have Ionut with us today. Ionut, please feel free to present your challenge. I'll be changing the slides. So Ionut, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So hello everyone, first of all. The problem here is Bacău really has a very aged population. So the problem we've been trying to tackle for a bit of a time is how can we create a diverse and accessible transportation system that can effectively address the mobility issue for the senior population. So as soon as we saw this this call, we knew that this could provide us with a bunch of solutions to make it happen. Let me give you a bit of a background on our city population. Over 35% of Bacău has been very much over the edge of 65 years. So we're trying to make their life more accessible. Lately, we have been developing and improving our cycling infrastructure. We've been building bike lanes, bike parking, bike sharing, and bike signage. just to make it more affordable for the people to switch to a more active alternative transport. And lately we have been dealing with the issue, how can we make it more attractive for the seniors? Because there is a general rule, I would say, that if you're old, let's try and take, the car with or the public transport, whichever is more easy to use. And there is a very strong component here neglected, and that's the health issue, right? Sedentarism. We're trying to tackle this. So what we are focusing on this call is trying to find partners to provide us mobility aids, not necessarily just the bikes. We are, and you'll see in the final slide, we are open for all kinds of ideas that encourage a switch to active mobility for seniors. So we can go to the next slide, please. The first step is we have been consulting in our departments, and we've reached the common ground that we need a type of service called MAS, which could integrate a lot of more platforms that could provide ride sharing or bike sharing for our elders, but we want to mainly focus on bike sharing. So if we could find more convenience, flexibility, and affordability for our elder to make it more accessible to use bikes to navigate through the city, it would be a good step towards progress and towards our final flagships, to say that. We already have been developing a smart city type of infrastructure alongside the smart parking, the smart lighting, and the smart traffic management. And we think that having a bike alternative type of transport for our elders could integrate very, very neatly in the entire ecosystem. So I think we could develop some kind of a platform for our elder to be accessed by them, to plan their rides, to encourage ourselves, the local authorities, and the supporting partners to apprehend to them this kind of lifestyle. I think there is one more slide, or just the two of them. Okay. So yeah, as I said before, our population is rapidly aging, over 65, and we have to do something about this. We have to promote an active lifestyle for them. We've been having a bit of consultation with the public, and they have agreed with us that encouraging this type of lifestyle, or this type of transportation, to say the least, would be a very welcome step. As mentioned before, we have been building a lot of bike infrastructure in the city. We have been modernizing indeed the public transportation system as well. And we think that this is the missing component to make it work for us. This being said, we are happy to receive any offers, even if it goes beyond cycling. We want to transform the city into a vibrant network that fosters interaction and a better overall quality life for all our residents, regardless of the age. So yeah, that's it, Natalia.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you very much. I think that is very interesting to get to know a bit more of the context in Bacău. So please also for the participants, ask your question in our Q&A feature in the Zoom. We will try to address them during the call, but also at the end, we will have some time. So thank you very much again, Ionut. And now we are traveling to Brasov, Romania. So we have Rainy with us to explain a bit more in details their challenge in Brasov on inner city logistics.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Rainy.
Oh, great. So my name is Reinhold Stadler. I will present, if you can move the slide already, briefly our city. So it's compared to other European cities, we can call it a medium-sized city. So 237,000 inhabitants and close to 500,000 inhabitant metropolitan area. It's a mountain city. This is quite important, with an important mountain resort. So we have huge influx of tourists, but also difficulties in developing the city in a simple manner. It's an important railway transport hub. and hopefully also will be a more important transport hub in terms of air transport. We have a mix of medieval and communist fabric with rapidly sprawling suburbs, which obviously put pressure on the whole transport system. And we have the newest bus fleet in Romania. All of our buses are very young, so beyond less than 5 years old. And we have a very large extending and rapidly extending pedestrian area in the historical center. And we are building probably the most extensive cycling network in Romania, but this will be implemented probably in the next 1 to 3 years. Next slide. Okay, so our challenge, like I mentioned, we are in a mountain city. One of our focus areas is the historical center, which is surrounded by mountains. So you can see on this image, and probably if you zoom out a bit, which is not possible in the PowerPoint, you can see that everything that is developed here is somehow surrounded. So you can't get out, just can get in and out on these narrow streets that we have. So basically in this central area, we have a large amount of traffic generators, public institutions, tourist areas, churches, a large amount of high schools, which are ethnical high schools. So German high school, Hungarian high school, gathering students from all around the city. And with basically just 2 lanes entering the historical center and on one side and 1 additional entering, so 3 lanes entering and 2 exiting, we have huge volumes of traffic that often remain basically locked. So it happens quite often, especially during weekends, that when you have a huge amount of tourists and many of them come by car, they effectively block the whole area and you can't get out from the historical center. You can see after the historical center, we still have a residential area. So they are more or less blocked in that area because they have to pass through the historical center to reach to other facilities. We are focusing in this part because the problem is very complex and we are addressing it at multiple levels. We are now looking probably just at one small slice of the whole complex problem. We are looking at logistics. So what you can see in the green circle, this is the main touristic area. Obviously, like any of your touristic areas, it's full of restaurants, shops, and everything that are mainly active when the tourists are there. So when the flow of cars and traffic is huge. And they have to one hand, provide goods and services, and they need like access to their restaurants. So the focus is on logistics. We are trying to find a way to have inner city logistics, which at the moment works in this quite limited condition. Just a small note, one of the lanes entering the central area is used during certain hours just for logistics, for delivering, for parking. So if you have to deliver something to one of the shop, you have like a 2-hour time frame where you can do your deliveries and then continue. This is somehow good because you can deliver, but this lane is then blocked all over the day because every time someone parks there, I just have to drop someone off and so on. So the lane doesn't work actually. And with such a small capacity, our focus is to find ways to deliver goods to the whole area without generating congestion. And quite important also, we will be implementing by June, I guess, limited traffic zone. So access in this area will be limited only for residents, delivery units, emergencies, and so on. So, and there are multiple also complex projects going together, but there's not enough time for me to explain everything. But to be short, we want your support in finding innovative ways to solve the inner city logistics problem in this central area.
Very interesting challenge. So please feel free if you have questions to address them now. We will try to reply to all of them. After Romania, we are traveling to Belgium, Brussels capital region, and we have Simon with us representing the challenge delivering in low traffic neighborhoods. Simon, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So yeah, you can go to the next slide, please. Yes, so it's another challenge about logistics. Here is really specific, as in 2020 we approved the Good Move plan. It's our sustainable urban mobility plan, and one of the 50 measures that are in this plan is the implementation of low traffic neighborhoods. So we aim to implement 50 low traffic neighborhoods all over the region. We are only at the beginning of this process, so only 2 neighborhoods are already finalized. The other are still under study or planned. That's quite a controversial measure, these low traffic neighborhoods. On one side, it improves the quality of life and the road safety for those who live in those neighborhoods. But on the other side, it could also frustrate some stakeholders or make life more difficult for other people. In this presentation, I would focus on especially on retailers and transporters that could be impacted by delivery problems. As the through traffic is limited by the low traffic neighborhood, they could have problem to find a way in those neighborhoods that could generate longer travel time, or change the habits in terms of parking or loading and unloading the goods. That could really decrease the efficiency of those deliveries in the neighborhoods. Our challenge is to prove that those low traffic neighborhoods are compatible with efficient urban distribution. So we want to run a pilot in one of the 2 low traffic neighborhoods that are already implemented to prove this in the reality. You can go to the next slide, please. We expect solutions that are efficient. That's really the main focus in this challenge. It should be as efficient as usual models in terms of stops per hour. It should really be also sustainable. So we really encourage a transition from motorized vehicles to light vehicles or cargo bicycles. And also really important, it should be scalable or replicable. As I told before, we have 50 neighborhood in project. So if you find a good solution, we really want to be able to use it in the other neighborhood to support retailers and transporters that could be concerned about the implementation of the new low traffic neighborhoods. I won't go too far presenting potential solutions to keep really this open. I really want to have innovative solution and let you design your own solution. But we thought about the enhancement of routing tools, as navigation is complicated in those neighborhoods or could change from one day to another by implementing new one-way streets or limited or restricted traffic area, a bit like in Brasov. We thought about mobile logistic hubs. That could be an option to create new delivery models, or even smart signaling to help the transporter to navigate in the neighborhood or find the best parking area or loading area. So that's it for a challenge. I hope you would be able to propose innovative solution to our problem or challenge.
Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you very much. Indeed, another great challenge for our potential solutions providers. So please ask your question in the chat. We're happy to address them. And now we are not traveling too far, but again, very interesting challenge. Same Belgium, Ghent, and with we are here today with Chan, who will be explaining the traffic safety analysis challenge that Ghent wants to address. So, Chan, please, the floor is yours. Maybe you are muted. So.
I was muted.
Great. Great to have you.
Hello, my name is Xan. I am a traffic researcher for the city of Ghent. The goal of our research is to better understand intersections and other parts of road infrastructure to make sure that if we change them or we can adapt them to make traffic in general more safe. Today, can I see the slides? Oh, that's already... yeah, okay, I'll just continue like this. Behind the diagram, there is a photo of an intersection. So today, because of limited resources, we make footage of intersections and traffic infrastructure. We film during rush hours to count the different modes of transportation that are on the intersection or the infrastructure. And we also try to look for conflicts. So how is the use of this intersection? How is the use of this piece of infrastructure? And are there conflicting travel lines between different modes of transportation? Today, we make static aerial footage with cameras, and we can send this footage to the provider of the cameras to do an automatic count of the cars, bikes. I think there is also pedestrians. So that's very interesting for us because we have limited resources and we can quickly get data from this footage. Important drawbacks are that the footage is not very clear and we cannot film larger pieces of infrastructure. So we would really like to make footage with our own off-the-shelf drones so that we can fly directly above infrastructure from a higher point of view so that we can get a complete view of the intersection or the road infrastructure. So what we already do today, we want to do it also on the drone footage. So we are looking for a provider of a software solution, maybe combined with some kind of hardware solution, but we would not prefer this. We would prefer a software solution that can analyze any footage, count the different modes of transportation, and put them in a flow diagram like you can see on the slide. And we want to go beyond this. So if you could continue the slide, please. Now we see the the intersection. So I drew some lines. The bike that you can see in the top of the image could cross the intersection and then choose the last moment to go left, or because cars are coming in the other way, the bike could choose to already cross the intersection to the other side first. So we would love to have a solution that can automatically detect the bike and keep track of which route they are taking on the intersection. If you can continue on the slide. Yes, so we want to see heat maps of and the riding lines of the individual road users. We would also love to see their speed. If we can see their speed and we can see where we stop, and if even in a better scenario, you can cross-reference this data, we could maybe see where conflicts arise on this cross-section, where near misses happen, where collisions happen. If we would have a software solution that can get this data out of the footage and visualize it to us and quantify it to us, that would be really, really interesting if that's a low threshold and low cost solution that we can use all over the city for studies, and we could share with other cities, so we could drastically improve our knowledge of how intersections are used and how to improve them for safety. Can you continue on the slide? I think I said almost everything actually. So important is that we really get automatic data extraction from any footage, and we can make extensive reports and visualizations preferably. And really nice to have would be if there is somehow a way to sideload other count data or yeah, name it. And also really nice to have is that the platform is as open as possible so that we can easily generate reports and share them, and that we can also work one-on-one with the provider to improve these solutions. So we would really prefer not to have a black box spitting out data that we don't know how it got there, and we would also prefer not to be locked into a vendor or locked into a hardware solution. So I think that is it.
Thank you very much, Sam. That was great presentation. I think we might have some questions here, so please feel free for all the participants to address. We will be happy to take them and clarify. So now we are going to Graz in Austria, and we have Anna with us representing the city of Graz, and she will be giving us a bit of more context on the Smart Accident Prevention Challenge. So Anna, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Brandstetter. I'm from Austria and I work for Holding Graz, specifically within the Department of Public Transport Operations. As a project leader for the digitalization of public transport processes, I'm excited to share our participation in the RAPTOR challenge. Currently, every incident occurring during Graz lines operations, for example, including the contact with another vehicle or a passenger falls, is documented manually by drivers using an analog accident form. However, this data isn't digitally processed or analyzed. The problem is now the lack of digital processing and analysis, which means we are unable to identify accident hotspots in the city. Because of that, we can't implement safety enhancements to prevent accidents. So the topic for the challenge is now, how can we leverage data collected during the traffic accidents? The goal is to enrich this data meaningfully, to derive patterns that will aid in effective accident prevention strategies. The next slide, please. Thank you. Now some inputs to the framework. We have 800 drivers, and the drivers will be equipped with tablets in the future. So it will be possible to record the accident data digitally. A lot of drivers have problems with the German language because they are from abroad. So the solution should help to overcome the language barrier. Further, it's important that the design is user-friendly and the data should be integrated into urban database. At the end, the IT solution is successful when accidents can be measurably reduced because the high data quality increases the efficiency of accident handling. Yes, that's it.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Clear challenge. I think we can get some very interesting solutions to your challenge, and we'll be very happy to pilot the best one. So thank you again. And right now we are going to Helsinki, Finland. We are having Juho with us, city representative for Helsinki, and he will be giving us some more context on mapping accessible pathways in the city. So Juho, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm Juho Kostiainen from Business Helsinki, and our challenge is related to the mapping of accessible pathways. So Here, the idea is to focus on better data about the environment for those with limited mobility, such as people with wheelchairs, or for the use of, for example, logistics, where can rolling cages be pushed without curbs being on the way, or towards the future, the requirements of, for example, autonomous solutions, where can autonomous cars or drones be roaming the streets. And also, at the same time, addressing, for example, the European regulations related to multimodal travel information services and accessibility information. So what kind of accessibility data should be available at different transport hubs. So basically, the idea is that we want to ensure that accessibility data about step-free access, walking surfaces, level access for wheelchair users, but also more detailed information about, for example, the curbsides and ramps and things like that would be available with the focus on transport hubs or mobility hubs, station and stop areas. Of course, aiming towards being able to develop better journey planners, for example, door to door, rather than having to rely on individual pieces of the route, such as knowing that a bus might be accessible, but if you don't know that the transport hub and the path there is accessible, then it's not really usable. So the focus here is specifically on the new novel methods on how this kind of data could be produced and updated. So we're looking for more scalable solutions, cost-effective solutions that would be practical for also updating such information. So that, for example, when there are roadworks or constructions or changes at a station, it could easily be updated without somebody going around manually writing things down and looking at things. So the solutions might be related to machine vision or different crowdsourcing type solutions. And the main KPIs related to this are then the scalability. So of course, the transport hub type areas are where we want to do the piloting, but of course, covering the entire city, for example, with cameras isn't exactly a viable option. So it should be something more easily done than installing everything everywhere that you want to monitor. And with that comes cost efficiency and the ease of use as well. So the solutions should be something that can be relatively easily deployed without requiring a lot of training or expertise or the too expensive equipment, for example. Yeah, that's the challenge in a nutshell.
Thank you very much, Ivo. Thank you for your explanation. Very clear. Again, please feel free to address the question if you need more details. We are happy to reply. This session is for this specifically to clarify potential participants' doubts. Thank you very much again. Now we are traveling to Slovakia, Košice. Last but not least, our representative from the city of Košice, Martin, is here, so he will be giving us a bit of more of the context on the traffic management optimization challenge. Martin, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and hello, it's a pleasure. We are very excited to be a part of this challenge. So maybe a little introduction to the city of Košice. We are a very historical 230,000 city with the largest town monument reserve in Slovakia, with the monumental Saint Elizabeth Church on the main street, which is actually the easternmost Gothic cathedral of Western type in the world. So if you would heard three things about Košice, that would be one of them. The second would be that we have the oldest marathon in Europe, and the second oldest one in the world. So let's let's continue to our challenge, and please let's move to our first slide. So historically, most of the intersection of the junctions of the traffic technology was implemented in the 90s, in the early 90s, which means that a lot of the technology is very outdated, very old tech, not as sophisticated, and it does not allow us to think and coordinate and manage our traffic in a smart and efficient way. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to find and implement an intelligent, cost-effective traffic signal system for public transportation and emergency vehicles. We're trying to find a way of how to use this old tech, to modify it, search for software/hardware solution which would help us prioritize emergency vehicles and help public transportation to arrive in a timely manner and cut down waiting times for our clients, for the travelers. And the issue is quite urgent, quite crucial. Once again, during the 90s, the traffic system was designed in a way which counted with a lot less cars than we have currently now. So the city of 240,000, let's say 340 and 460,000 people with its metropolitan area, and more than 150,000 cars there. While we were counting on perhaps, let's say, 1 car on 3 apartments during the 90s, now we have quite the opposite situation, which really doesn't allow us much flexibility in making the traffic accessible and fluent. Let's move to the next slide. So what we are hoping for, what we're trying to find, and what we're trying to achieve is reduced congestion, faster travel times for all of the users, not just the public transportation, and of course faster response times for emergency vehicles. We of course understand that every second matters, every second helps save lives, and in a very heavily congested city, this matters a lot. Again, the emphasis on a cost-effective solution. The current state of affairs in the Slovak Republic is that the cities are in a quite complicated financial shape. So we are searching for a solution which is replicable, which is implementable, possibly in the future on other junctions as well. And we're trying to find a solution which benefits everyone in the city and costs the city, the carriers, and the clients at the end of the day less than it does now. So I would say that is all for the moment, and thank you very much. I'm looking forward to any potential questions.
Thank you very much, Martin, and thank you to all representatives from different cities for really being strict on time. Great presentation, giving us a bit more of a context for each of the challenges, many different challenges or urban mobility related. So we are happy and excited to see potential proposals, and you can always reach out to us via email. You have until 6th of May to apply. Yeah, and looking very forward.